You know how it is running a business here in Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
It's like you're constantly on the go.
Yeah.
You've got those contracts that need signing ASAP, maybe over in Boston or like hustling to make that bank deposit before the cutoff in Cambridge. It never stops.
It really doesn't. You always got to be moving.
Right.
And then you've got making sure that those crucial HR documents, actually make it to the right person's desk in Worcester, like today, not tomorrow.
Exactly. So, just moving all these important documents and items quickly and reliably.
Yeah.
It can be a ton of pressure.
That's something we hear a lot. It's a challenge for sure for businesses of all sizes. I mean, across Massachusetts, really optimizing those internal logistics.
Yeah.
That can be super key.
Absolutely.
From just keeping things running smoothly every day to like being ready to jump on opportunities when they pop up.
Right.
Moving those critical items efficiently, it really does impact your bottom line and how you stack up against the competition here in good old Massachusetts.
That's so true. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're looking at how using local same-day courier services can really give your business a strategic advantage right here in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
We've been doing some digging and we've seen how these services can really help streamline your workflows,
Absolutely.
and maybe even free up some of your resources.
Yeah.
And they offer a level of reliability that can seriously change the game for you. Think of this as your, insider's guide to getting things where they need to go here in Massachusetts.
Right.
And doing it fast without all the usual headaches.
Yeah, today we're really honing in on the specific benefits that using local same-day courier services can bring to businesses in Massachusetts, just like yours.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at how these services are really geared to handle the unique logistical needs of our local economy here, providing solutions that are tailor-made for the way you do business.
Okay, so let's jump right in. One term we came across a lot was round-trip courier services. What exactly does that mean for a business in Massachusetts?
All right, so think of it like a logistical shortcut. A round-trip courier service handles the whole shebang for you in one go. The courier picks up your thing, delivers it to where it needs to go, and then here's the kicker, brings it back to you.
Ah.
So it's not just a one-way street, it's a full circle kind of deal, handled seamlessly.
Nice.
What makes this super valuable for Massachusetts businesses is that these services are built for speed and security, making sure that your time-sensitive stuff is treated with care and tracked every step of the way.
So it's more than just delivery. It's designed for when you need that item back quickly. Can you give us some real-life examples of how this round-trip feature benefits Massachusetts businesses?
Okay, sure. Picture this. You've got a law firm in downtown Boston. They need a client to sign a super important contract, right?
Yeah.
So a round-trip courier can swoop in, grab the unsigned documents, get them signed, and then zoom back to the firm with a fully signed agreement, often all on the same day.
Wow.
Boom. No more waiting around, and the deal gets done faster.
That's awesome.
Or think about a small retail business, maybe out in the suburbs. They need to deposit checks before the bank closes in the afternoon, right? A round-trip service handles that deposit and brings back the stamped receipt, so, it's done. No need for someone to leave the store.
Smart.
Yeah, it just makes things so much smoother.
That makes a ton of sense. So it eliminates the extra trip and potential for delays, which could be so crucial in those time-sensitive situations we face here in Massachusetts.
You got it.
So what kinds of businesses in Massachusetts are really seeing the benefits of these round-trip services?
It's really across the board, but we see legal firms, especially in a fast-paced environment like Boston.
Right.
They rely on couriers a lot, like Bocsit, for example, for securely delivering and getting back legal documents, contracts, agreements, anything that needs a real signature,
Yeah.
This can really speed up legal processes and help close deals faster, giving them a real leg up on the competition.
Legal's definitely seems like a prime candidate for this kind of service. What about smaller businesses in Massachusetts? How can they take advantage of this?
Oh, absolutely. Small businesses all over Massachusetts can find this really useful. Like, think about getting those checks to the bank.
Right.
Instead of the owner or an employee taking time out of their day to go to the bank, a courier can handle the pickup and bring back that deposit slip.
That's true.
It saves so much time and lets your staff focus on, actually running the business. This is especially helpful for businesses that are in more remote parts of the state or those that are running a tight ship with their staff.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the financial benefits are pretty clear. Now, thinking about the internal side of a business, how might an HR department in Massachusetts use these services? They deal with a lot of sensitive employee information.
Oh, for sure. You're right. HR departments are constantly handling confidential documents like offer letters, benefit packages, termination agreements, you name it.
Yeah,
In these situations, speed, security, and discretion are super important.
absolutely.
Using a local courier ensures that those sensitive documents are delivered directly and securely, maintaining confidentiality and, sticking to those often tight timelines that come with these processes.
Right.
Like, imagine making sure a new hire gets their offer letter quickly through a courier.
Uh-huh.
It makes a great first impression and can really help secure their commitment.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you mentioned those separation processes. Those can be a bit delicate. How can round-trip couriers help with that, specifically in a Massachusetts context?
So when an employee is leaving, there's often a bunch of logistics involved, like getting company property back, laptops, security badges, and delivering that final paycheck. Using a courier offers a professional, secure, and documented way to handle these things, ensuring everything's by the book legally and minimizing any potential friction. It can also provide a little bit of necessary distance in what can sometimes be an emotionally charged situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those are some really useful examples showing how this can be applied in different businesses across Massachusetts. Are there any other less obvious ways local couriers are being used here in the Commonwealth?
Oh, totally. For instance, healthcare providers across Massachusetts, they might use couriers for secure and compliant transport of medical records between offices or labs.
Ah,
It ensures timely access to patient information while staying in line with HIPAA regulations. Real estate agencies often need to move important documents quickly during those property transactions.
yeah.
And even event organizers might use same-day couriers for last-minute deliveries of tickets or credentials, making sure everything runs smoothly. The common thread here is the need for speed, security, and reliability, all tailored to the specific needs of businesses operating in Massachusetts.
So why should a Massachusetts business specifically consider a local same-day courier as opposed to a national carrier, or even handling deliveries themselves? What are the advantages for businesses here?
Well, the benefits are significant, and they're really tailored to the Massachusetts business environment. First off, there's the speed and efficiency. Local couriers know the area like the back of their hand, the geography, traffic patterns, and all those little logistical quirks of Massachusetts cities and towns.
Yeah.
Like take Bocsit, for example. They have a 2 p.m. cutoff for 5 p.m. delivery in some areas.
Wow.
That just shows you how fast they can turn things around, which can be super important for same-day needs here in the Commonwealth.
Right.
That kind of responsiveness can be hard to find with those big national services.
Yeah, that quick turnaround time seems like it could be a lifesaver. What about the cost? Is using a local courier in Massachusetts a budget-friendly option?
For a lot of Massachusetts businesses with regular or recurring delivery needs within the state, using a local courier can actually be more cost-effective than having their own delivery staff. You got to think about salaries, vehicle maintenance, insurance, all that.
That's true.
It can also be a more economical choice than those often pricey, urgent same-day services from national carriers, specifically within a certain area like Massachusetts. Basically, you're paying for a focused, efficient service exactly when you need it without the overhead of having your own in-house solution.
In today's business world, tracking and accountability are so important. How do local Massachusetts couriers stack up in terms of reliability?
Well, the good news is that modern local courier services in Massachusetts get how important transparency is. A lot of them offer real-time tracking so you can see exactly where your delivery is and what's happening with it from pickup to final destination and back again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that combined with electronic proof of delivery provides a lot of accountability and peace of mind. You have a clear record of when your items were handled and by who.
So it sounds like there's a more personal touch to using a local service, too.
Oh, absolutely. Local courier services often take pride in building relationships with Massachusetts businesses and really understanding their unique needs. They can offer more flexible and tailored solutions compared to those bigger, more standardized national operations. They're part of the community. They often have a real stake in providing top-notch service to their neighbors.
You've mentioned Bocsit a couple of times. From what we've seen, they seem to be a big name in the Massachusetts courier world. What makes them stand out for our listeners?
Yeah, well, the info we've got suggests that Bocsit has built a really solid reputation as an A-rated courier service with a strong presence in key Massachusetts areas like Boston, Cambridge, Worcester. They offer those essential same-day and round-trip delivery options, but they also really emphasize their ability to handle sensitive materials securely, which we've talked about is vital for a lot of business applications.
So what are some of the key features or benefits that Bocsit highlights?
It looks like they're big on using technology, offering that real-time tracking tracking, which we said was a huge plus. They also emphasize their commitment to being reliable and making sure customers are happy. And their service area goes beyond just the Boston metro area, covering a good chunk of the New England region, which can be helpful for Massachusetts businesses that have those broader regional needs.
So if a Massachusetts business wants to try using a service like Bocsit, what's the first step? How do they get started?
The process is usually pretty straightforward. Businesses can usually set up an account through the Courier Services website. Scheduling a pickup is often done online or over the phone for convenience. Then the sender just needs to make sure their item is properly packed up for transport. And as we've said, they'll usually have access to real-time tracking information through a digital platform.
It sounds like a pretty smooth process that could easily fit into how businesses already operate here in Massachusetts. Now let's zoom out a little to look at the bigger picture. How does the growing popularity of same-day courier services reflect those wider trends in the business world today?
What's really interesting is how this increasing reliance on same-day courier services reflects the overall demand for speed and efficiency in everything we do in business now. Just like how digital transformation has changed the way we communicate and manage information, these courier services are like a parallel evolution in physical logistics. It's all about meeting that need for immediate and reliable movement of goods and documents.
Like our physical infrastructure is catching up to the pace of the digital world. You mentioned the human element earlier, talking about local couriers. Could you expand on why that might matter to a business in Massachusetts?
Even with all the cool tech advancements, that personal interaction with a local courier can still be really valuable. For businesses in Massachusetts that prioritize building strong relationships with their clients or partners, the professionalism and reliability of a local courier can leave a positive impression, showing that you care about efficiency and attention to detail. It's a real-world representation of your company's standards.
And we should also think about the broader impact, especially here in Massachusetts. What about the sustainability aspects and supporting the local economy?
When you think about the big picture, choosing local courier services directly supports the Massachusetts economy. Plus, a lot of local providers are focusing more and more on optimizing their delivery routes and looking into more eco-friendly transportation options like electric vehicles or participating in carbon offset programs. That can align really well with a business's sustainability goals.
So for a Massachusetts business that's ready to explore this further, what are some practical things to consider when choosing a courier service? What are the key factors?
There are a few big ones. First off, reputation and track record within Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Look for reviews and testimonials from other local businesses, understanding their pricing structure and whether they offer options that fit your usage patterns is also crucial.
Right.
Make sure they cover the specific Massachusetts locations you need service in. And like we've been saying, those robust technology offerings, especially real-time tracking and reliable communication, are super important.
Those are all excellent points. What specific questions should a Massachusetts business ask potential courier partners?
This is key. Definitely ask if they offer round-trip services, if that's something you need a lot.
Okay.
Ask about their procedures for handling sensitive documents to make sure they meet your security and compliance standards. And it's always a good idea to understand how they handle potential delays or any unexpected problems that might come up.
Are there any warning signs, any red flags that a Massachusetts business should watch out for when they're checking out courier services?
Oh, for sure. Be wary if they're not transparent about their pricing or service terms.
Okay.
If you see a lot of negative reviews online or if there are signs that they're not reliable, those are big red flags.
Yeah.
And if a courier service doesn't offer any kind of real-time tracking or clear communication channels, that could mean their practices are outdated and they might not be as accountable.
Right. To really illustrate all of this for our listeners in Massachusetts, can you share a few more specific examples of how local businesses here have successfully used these services?
Sure. We came across a story about a Boston-based tech startup that used a local courier to quickly get investor signatures on some really important funding agreements.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, the speed and reliability of the service were key in speeding up their funding round and giving them a real edge in that fast-paced industry.
That's a great example of how speed can be critical in those high-stakes situations, especially in the Massachusetts tech scene. What about a business in a different industry?
Okay, well, how about this? A healthcare provider in Worcester.
Okay.
They used a courier service to securely transport patient medical records between their different facilities in a way that complied with HIPAA. This protected the privacy and security of that sensitive patient information, while also making communication and care coordination more efficient across their network.
Wow, that's great. And lastly, can you give us an example of how a more everyday Massachusetts business might use these services?
Sure, there was this retail business with multiple locations in Cambridge.
Okay.
They used round-trip courier services for their daily bank deposits from each store.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, it streamlined their cash management processes, reduced the risks of handling and transporting cash internally, and freed up their store managers to focus on leading their teams and taking care of customers.
These real-world examples really show how diverse and practical the benefits of same-day courier services can be for businesses of all kinds here in Massachusetts. It's not just about convenience, it's about being strategically efficient, boosting security, and freeing up your team to focus on what your business does best.
Exactly. For Massachusetts businesses that are looking to get the most out of their operations and stay ahead of the game in today's fast-paced world, local same-day courier services have become a crucial and adaptable tool.
So to wrap up for our listeners all across Massachusetts, what are the main takeaways here?
The core benefits are pretty clear. You've got the speed and efficiency of moving those important documents and items quickly across the state. You've got the potential to save money compared to other delivery methods.
Right.
You've got the increased reliability with tracking and accountability.
Yeah.
And you've got that personalized service and understanding of the local Massachusetts business landscape that you can only get from local providers.
So for all the business owners and managers out there listening in Massachusetts, have you really taken a good look at your internal logistics lately? Could using a same-day courier service be the key to making things run smoother and giving you some much-needed peace of mind? Think about those times when getting something important across town quickly and reliably feels like a huge obstacle. What if you could just get rid of that obstacle altogether?
And for those in Massachusetts who are interested in digging deeper into this, resources like Bocsit's website, www.bocsit.com, can provide you with some really useful info about the specific services and solutions that are available to businesses right here in the Commonwealth.
Some really valuable insights to think about for any business operating in Massachusetts. Thanks for this awesome deep dive.
Anytime. It was fun.
Always a pleasure.